How you guys doing today? Um, I want to talk to you guys very, very quick about chemistry. Um, what I was just thinking about is that chemistry cannot be created. Sexual chemistry cannot be created. It can't be created. You can't replicate sexual chemistry. See, sexual chemistry comes into play when a woman is naturally attracted to you. But see, you can't create sexual chemistry, you know? And what I was just thinking to myself about is that if the sexual chemistry is not there between you and a woman, you got to compensate with Tiziana Terenzi. You got to compensate with Laro Piana. You got to compensate with Emilio Pucci. You got to compensate with Roberto Cavalli. You got to compensate with Ruth Chris Steakhouse. You got to compensate with private jets to Argentina. You got to compensate with flights to France. You got to compensate with flights to Grenada. See, if the sexual chemistry is not there between you and a woman, you got to compensate with money and material possessions. That's the main reason why I see why they say that some men got to pay to play. I used to didn't understand why they say some men got to pay to play, but it's everything is coming full circle. Men who cannot create sexual chemistry, these type of men who can't create sexual chemistry, these types of dudes got to resort to money and material possessions, and they got to resort to all of this stuff because they don't look good to women. But I used to believe that you could create sexual chemistry. I used to think that, if you was funny, if you had a nice personality, that you could create sexual chemistry with a woman. Sexual chemistry can't be created. No, it can't be created. You can't create chemistry. The chemistry comes from when women find you to be a good-looking man. If they attracted to you, if you look good to them, then the chemistry will come into play. But if you're not a man that women find attractive in the first place, you're not creating no sexual chemistry. And I notice a lot of dating coaches, they try to sell this idea to guys that, even though you never been desired by women, if you just hit the gym, you'll start creating that sexual chemistry. I mean, it's good to stay active and do stuff, but that's not gonna help you. That's not gonna create no sexual chemistry. If women don't find you to be a good looking man, you're not creating no chemistry. And I used to be bamboozled, and I used to believe that you could create this sexual chemistry with women. Nah, that's something that you either got or you don't. And what a lot of people don't want to admit, but people know this deep down, there are certain things in this world that are not tangible. There are certain things that you just cannot buy. And one thing you can't purchase is that it factor. You can't purchase attraction. That's something you either have or you don't. It's something that's in you or it's not in you. That's what I had to realize. There are some people who just have it, and see, what I had to learn in life, there are certain things that can't be replicated. It can't be cultivated. It can't be manufactured. It's just something that's just in you. It had to be in you from the day you were born, and that's why they call it the it factor. Some guys just got it. And if you're a man and you can't create that sexual chemistry with a woman, if women look at you and they don't desire to sleep with you, it's over. You lost in that battle. Because I know there are some dudes from the time they were teenagers, they always had that sexual chemistry with females. Females just always had a liking for them from the time they were young. And I realized that something like that, that's either that was either in you from the day you were born, or it wasn't. There are some guys, what I had to realize, who have what you call raw natural sex appeal. And you can't buy that. You could put on a $5,000 Brioni suit and a Rolex Milgauss watch on. And you could spray on some Tiziana Terenzi Orion cologne. And you still won't create that sexual chemistry. Because that's something that's either there or is not. And that's what I had to realize. There are certain things that just can't be bought. You know? You can't buy certain things. You know? You know, and I think one of the biggest lies that guys have been sold is that sexual chemistry can be created. You know, because a lot of dating coaches will tell you, and a lot of guys have just been told this by other guys in general, that as a man, you can create sexual chemistry with a woman. I used to believe you could create sexual chemistry. But I'm realizing you can't create sexual chemistry because it's something that has to be there. And if it's not there in the first place, then you just SOL. That's what I had to learn about this whole idea of sexual chemistry. You know, some guys just got it. I wish I was one of them dudes that just had it. You know, one of them dudes that just had that it factor. And I know a lot of guys probably wish they was one of those dudes that just had that natural sexual chemistry, you know? I think a lot of guys know that some dudes are at a disadvantage, but they just want to give hope to guys, because for the longest, I used to always think that, you know, if you just have a good banging personality, that you can create that chemistry with women. But you can't create no chemistry with women. If a woman look at you and they don't feel no desire for you, if they don't find you attractive, you're not creating no chemistry. You know? You know, the only chemistry that you creating is no chemistry. But that's all I wanted to talk about for now. It's a very hot July day. Today is Monday, July the 8th. 2024, and it's a good day to be swimming. July is really bringing that heat, but I think it's sad though. Personally, I'm gonna say one last thing about this chemistry thing. I think it's sad as a man if you have to compensate with money, and you have to compensate with material possessions, because I just feel that there's no money, there's no amount of material possessions that can compensate for that natural raw attraction. You know, that natural raw attraction gotta be there. You know, and if it's not there, then you know, you just know that you're being used and taken advantage of as a man. But there's, you know, but some men, you know, it's unfortunate, but they can't create that chemistry with women. And if you're a man that can't create that kind of chemistry with women, then you just have to compensate with that money, unfortunately. And let me know what you think about this, compensating with money and material possessions. Because if I had it my way, I wish they had a herb on the market that could create sexual chemistry with you and women. Just imagine if they had a herb on the market. And that's all I'm gonna say about this topic. Just imagine they had a herb on the market that you could take it every day, like a men's multivitamin. I take men's multivitamins. But just imagine if they had a herb that you could take every day that'll create sexual attraction between you and the woman, make women want to sleep with you. I'd never miss a tablet of that herb. But that's been the discussion for now on this beautiful, hot July day. You guys have a good one. Peace.